We're back. It's been a while. Wow. So I wanted to talk about a couple of things. It's very interesting. I dug up a journal of mine that I took a bunch of notes in. I've been writing in for a while. The last time I actually made an entry in it was 2019. Pretty wild. It's 2022 now. So it's been a couple of years, but one of the more recent entries, I guess this is around 2019, I guess middle June, July, but I really wanted to do a legacy video is what I wrote down, a legacy video. And I think that a lot of that is I want to do this legacy video from this journal that I've been keeping, and I'm really happy that I have a lot more room to write, and I always like to go back and write in different colors to take notes. I always keep the left half of the page blank to add more thoughts and expound upon, which is an idea I actually got from reading a copy of The Art of War. I really like how they will have, the original translation on one side, and then on the other side is sort of the author's interpretation. So that's always interesting. So let's see. I talked in other videos about positive feedback loops, and that is one of those things that I've found true time and time again. It's the power of mind over matter in a lot of ways. It's the power of positivity over negativity. It's the power of never giving up, never backing down, always fighting for what you believe in. It's actually really tough to read and drive at the same time. Repetition is powerful. That's a good one. Positive feedback loops and repetition being powerful, those go hand in hand. One of the ways that I lost weight when I went from 280 pounds down to 220, and eventually 187, 189, I lost a lot of weight then, but it was intermittent fasting. And it's one of those things, intermittent fasting, where repetition is key. It's the positive feedback loop. Once you do it enough, you start to see the results, then you want to keep doing it, and you want to keep going. So, because of those positive feedback loops, you'll get them, you'll notice them. Everyone, I'm sure, is really capable of looking in the past of their lives and seeing these negative feedback loop times where they get in a rut, and it can get really, really out of control if you're not careful. So one of the things to do to get into a positive feedback loop is to tenaciously pursue your passions with an indomitable mindset. That is not an original thought from me. That comes from a guy named Tim, who wrote in one of my little notepads. He's a photographer, I believe, and it was at my business partner's wedding down in Florida. I believe where were we? I don't remember where the wedding was, but it was beautiful. And I asked him to, kind of sign it, just, for the memories. And that's what he wrote: tenaciously pursue your passions with an indomitable mindset. And that was something that really helped change and cement, but tweak, the way that I look at life. So I feel like a long time ago I sort of entered the priesthood of like finance and economics. I chose at a young age. It did start with Dave Ramsey. My parents listening to him when I was a young pup, and so those early thoughts, those early like lessons in the radio show, like really shaped my thoughts and turned me on to wanting to make finance kind of like one of my things, I guess. So it was a hobby, but it wasn't just a hobby. It was more than that, and I wanted to be a level designer, like a video game level designer, and I tried to go to school for that, and it just wasn't really in the cards. I tried, I gave my best effort, but the school that I went to, it wasn't the best for that, I guess. There's other schools that were better, and well, I didn't have the means to move out west to like California, Arizona, or wherever. So business school and finance, mainly business school, had always been kind of like my backup. And I was like, hey, like, what's the hardest one? And they said, probably finance, and then information systems, or MIS, management information systems, and then accounting, and then marketing, in that order. And man, like, I'm really happy I got the degree in finance. I think marketing would have been fun, but I think I definitely wouldn't have done what I did. There would be no LLC. There would have been no pursuit of being a financial advisor. And I think being a financial advisor has been a great path and a great journey for me. And I still do it. I'm an investment advisor now more than anything. Registered investment advisor. I mean, I do hold my investment license. Have our own investment advisory firm, registered with FINRA, and it was because of positive feedback loops. It was because of repetition. It was because of consistently trying to figure it out. And I've read so many sales books. I had so many sales books back in the day. Some of them I never really did dive into, mainly because I would read more, I would read more up-to-date ones, yes, newer books, and they would reference these older ones, like, getting past no, or getting to yes, and how, as the times change, those become a little outdated, and like, that's fine. But that doesn't change the fact that, How to Win Friends and Influence People is still one of the best books of all time to read. And like, just like all of these books, all of these sales books as well. And through all of that, here's the deal. It's just like, sometimes experiences are good and sometimes they're bad. And you gotta take them both, and you've gotta kind of like stop and assess kind of what life is teaching you. And I would say that, even though I've chosen to leave an office environment and a white collar environment to pursue a trade, it's been worth it. I kind of felt that the market was going to correct, and the market was going to turn downwards. And the thing is when times are bad and times are good, it really doesn't really matter. I mean, it's always tough as a financial advisor to get money in motion, and it's been a little bit easier as time goes on. But I think that quote, what is it, like, hard times create tough men, good times create weak men or whatever, and we've been in good times for a long time now. Like things have been going really well, and I wanted to get a skill for myself that wasn't just being able to evaluate numbers on an Excel spreadsheet. I wanted to move towards the fight, if you will. And that's been kind of a mindset of mine for a long while as well, moving towards the fight. You got to confront the unknown. If you move towards the fight and confront the unknown, you're getting hard in your shell. You're gonna come out better on the other side for it. What is that one? It's like, I think it's like lobsters or some kind of crustacean, crabs maybe. I think it's like crabs. They they molt. They they move to new. What is it? What the hell is it that moves to new shells? Well, when they grow, they get too big for the shell that they're in, right? And they're going to keep growing, so they have to leave their shell to find a bigger shell. And it's like, if they don't leave their current state of comfort and expose themselves to danger, they'll die. They'll literally die from crushing to death in their own shell. And it's a great metaphor for life, because if you don't leave your comfort zone and seek a battle, confront the unknown, you won't grow. You won't have any more room to grow. So that's always been a good one. Yeah, this is another one from Jocko Willink. Life punishes the vague wish but rewards the specific ask. Whether it's like a wish or a dream, I found that once I heard that, discipline equals freedom and all that, I love his leadership strategy and tactics book, and he's a very motivational guy. But as soon as I started putting into practice asking specifically for things, you really start to get what you want. And man, like that coupled with all the sales training has been phenomenal. That is something else right there. Life punishes the vague wish but rewards the specific ask. It's a good one. But if you tenaciously pursue things and you do all of that stuff, and like with me, it was, I read every sales book under the sun. I never really went to like seminars to become a better salesperson, but companies that I worked with provided that sort of thing, and it just turns out like that just wasn't for me, and that's okay. It's okay to do what's right for the client. It doesn't have to be about sales, and that's what always bothered me about working for these big companies. And I guess I can't name names, but they'll tell you what to say and how to be a better salesperson, but like at the same time they're like telling you the products that they want you to push, and it turns out like those aren't always the best products. So you really can't, I don't know, if you have a moral and ethical code, it's really hard to follow certain recipes. There's a reason I was always good at waiting tables throughout college, in between jobs. I mean, hell, one time when I was getting my investment license, I picked up a job, and those are good experiences. You meet some really good people. Some of the owners of those restaurants I'm still friends with to this day, and I don't know, what you got to do. Like go around this car. Who's gonna honk their horn at me because they're a freaking piece of, oh my gosh, how rude. Pulled out in front of me in a truck, and then they're gonna slow down and turn left. Oh, some people. You know what I mean? One of the reasons I felt like I was always good at waiting tables is it's easy to believe in something like food. You can sell food to anybody. It's a necessity. But when you start talking about whole life insurance, that's a different animal altogether. Number one, I mean, when you're asking an 18 or 19-year-old to sell whole life insurance and they don't really know much about it, oh man, that's a big ask, and that's going to be really, really, really tough. You know, that's going to be a tough thing to do at that age. But, you know, I mean, when you go through those sort of experiences and you say, oh, you know, hey, I listened to this guy Dave Ramsey growing up, and he's never really big on whole life insurance. But now I'm doing this internship, and they're saying, follow the recipe, sell this whole life insurance, call everyone you know, and then we'll help you get your investment licenses and blah, 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 blah. And they want you to, like, follow this, like, pyramid of, you know, start here, and then we'll help you with this and this and this. And it's like, you know, then you got other companies that I've also done programs with where they're like, no, like we're going to go ahead and just, like, skip the insurance part and help you with the investment part. And those companies are great as well. The ones you got to watch out for are the ones where it's like, oh no, you got to pay your own way. Well, got to watch out for those. Because, like, I don't know. I mean, can I say a company that I've never worked for? I guess so. I don't even know if they're still around. But, like, yeah, I was working with, like, made friends with another intern at another place, and he was like, oh, like, I once met a financial advisor, quote unquote, selling hot dogs in New York at a hot dog stand, who also worked at Waddell and Reed. And, you know, that's because Waddell and Reed is one of those places where you have to pay your own way. You have to pay to play. And I mean, I'm not gonna, like, sit here and fault their business style, because I understand it after having opened my own LLC and having gone that route of opening my own investment advisory, my own registered investment advisory, and going to a career fair and trying to recruit students to bring along the same path that I went through, because I guess that was the recipe that I saw, and I wanted to make my own cake instead of, you know, follow the one on the box, like at big box mutual company, I guess is the only way I can really say it. I mean, you know, call it Mass Mutual, Northwestern Mutual, or Penn Mutual, or whatever. I think they're all pretty much similar in their programs. So I think it's like, you know, it is what it is, but man, keep doing and keep going. Follow those feedback loops. Okay, so yeah, back towards you know, the specific ask. Here's one. Often what stands between you and a better outcome is just a few better questions. I like this one a lot, and as I read that, I haven't been thinking that a lot lately, but I have been implementing it regardless, because it's like three-way communication, I guess. You you repeat back what you hear, but also like if you're more specific, you're going to be able to get on the same page better with the other person, and that's going to lead to a win-win-win type situation, blue ocean strategy type deal. So that's a good one. I need to like go through and do all of these at one point. I gotta write a book, I think. Fight for the good. Cooperate and compete positively. Positive feedback loops. Yeah, competition isn't a bad thing. Competition is not a bad thing. Especially with yourself. Compete with yourself. Make yourself better. I was having this conversation with my wife not too long ago. We were just working some things out. Because, sometimes, like, she's really hard on herself. Which is, it's not a bad thing, but you can be too hard on yourself. And I was telling her how, like, back when I was, like, really into, like, really trying hard to lose weight, in the internal monologue that you have with yourself, like, I was very, I don't know, talk to yourself like a dog. Like, I was, like, talking to myself like a dog. Because, like, if you can train your brain that way, then you often get results, because it's psychology, I guess. It's knowing your brain. It's knowing that, the willpower of it. And I mean, am I bummed out that, I worked so hard for so many years to lose all of that weight, and then I gained it back ever since I started working more, and I've moved to a new location. I live in this house now that's, not really near the gym that I had always been going to, and so, like, that's the thing. That was my comfort zone. That gym, those locations, those are my comfort zone. And I got an itch. I'm not picking a boogie. That is itching. And they're not nearby. And I was working in a location where I would have had to drive over an hour to get to the gym, and then over 30 extra minutes to, get home. And it was just taking so much time out of my day, away from my family, away from my newborn. And it was just so funny to me, because, you truly don't get it until it happens. But I was one of those where when I worked out, I was like, when I get married and have a kid, like, I'm not going to make excuses. Like, I'm still going to come. I'm still going to do all of this stuff. But as soon as it happens, that's a good one. As soon as you get in that situation, though, you change. And I mean, I changed gyms. I canceled the memberships and got a new gym closer to home, and now, there's less of an excuse, right? I mean, except on class days, I'm not anywhere near it, because it's only the one gym near the house. But I go, and now I only have to drive. I drive past the house, I think like an extra 5 to 7 minutes, but I'm there. And I'm at the gym, and I can do my thing. And yeah, I've gained weight. I've been working more. I've been spending more time with my family. I don't know, but I'm not bummed out too much. Like, it's not affecting me, I hope. I don't think. I mean, it it makes me sad sometimes, but I'm much more happy. I'd rather look back on my life and say, oh my gosh, look at all that time I got to spend with my family. I got to watch my kids grow up. Not, I was always in the gym, and look, I died with a, 7% less body fat than I would have if I wasn't, so strict and blah, blah, blah. Whatever. I think being in shape's great, but I have a physical job, and I mean, I'm still in shape. Not out of shape. So, zombie apocalypse, I'm prepared for now. Nuclear, I don't know. World War III, maybe not so much. But anyway, in that regard, you know, just like even that little diatribe, that little soapbox, it's see what's right, not what's wrong. And this is another thing that, you know, has really changed my life for the better, is because, well, like today even, gosh, perfect example. There's this older, experienced journeyman that I work with, and she has been doing it for quite some time, and she's very nice, very knowledgeable. And I think that she's great to work with. She knows her stuff, but like a lot of people don't, you know, enjoy working with her. Like there's been a couple of people who are like, oh, you know, blah, 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 you know, that person, how's working with her? And it's like, what are you talking about? It's great. Like, she's sweet, she's nice, she's kind, she's easy to talk to. I don't because exactly that. People see what's wrong instead of what's right. And what's right is that she's sweet, she's kind, she's experienced, and she's knowledgeable. I don't know. And just in like relationships and things, and like, I mean, just kind of one of the recurring themes with me and my wife is certain situations arise just day-to-day life, you know, but I think they're just usual for everybody, and it mainly comes down to communication. But like when you're just like so busy, things don't get communicated sometimes, and you know, I'll run off to go do something, and my wife will see what's wrong and be like, the wrong thing to her is that I left without saying anything, or I just disappeared, instead of what's right about the situation is like, oh, I'm just downstairs like doing the laundry, or I'm just, you know, in the game room playing my PlayStation and just trying to relax and get ready for the week ahead, because it's going to be another physical week. So like that. So if you can just kind of change your mindset to not be like 90% of the others, and be like the 3% or the 10% or the 1% or whatever percent that sees what's right in a situation and not what's wrong. Because this was from a TED Talks, people are 3% smarter in a positive frame of mind. Can you believe that? Like, if you're positive, you're 3% more intelligent. So your brain's working better. Your brain is working much more better. Yeah, here's the other thought from a while back. Sometimes experiences are good, sometimes they're bad. If you're ever worried about it, just go for it. Because growing is better than not knowing. Oh, look at me, I'm so cute, I made a rhyme. Intermittent fasting. I've always wanted to help people, and I've chosen a career in which I utilize many talents to help any way I can. That was written before I started as an apprentice electrician. But funny how things morph and change, because with everything that I've learned in the past couple of years, on top of being able to leverage a degree in finance and my business experience, I'll be able to parlay that into another LLC and another company that I'll hopefully be able to get up and get going, and it'll be great. I'll be very happy with it. Because sales and being better at sales means being better at service, and being better at service means better sales, and it's a positive feedback loop. And now I'm just learning a trade for something that I believe in. I like electricity because I like to be able to play video games and watch YouTube and Netflix and have my TV and have lights to read with and write with. And so I'm definitely like able to see myself selling that service of repairs, wiring, lighting, etc., etc., etc. So it's very exciting to read all of this stuff from my past and see how moving into the future, I've always kind of kept that focus, I guess. And so you should too. You should try to see what's right, not what's wrong with your past. See what experiences you've had and the things that you've learned, and use all of that to move towards the fight, seek out the unknown, because in order to tenaciously pursue your dreams, what was it? Tenaciously pursue your passions with an indomitable mindset. So the indomitable part of that is, if you're too worried about taking a risk and, cashing in one of my retirement funds to pay RIA in a box to set up a registered investment advisory so that we could get this LLC jump started was a risk, but it paid off. I have already earned that money back for sure by starting the LLC. So what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Climb out of your shell to find a bigger shell so that you can grow into it and keep pursuing your passions. And while you're doing that, make sure that your vague dream is full of specific asks. Because if you're not specifically asking for the right things along the way, it's going to stay a wish. It's going to stay a dream. Speaking of dreams, there's one thing in here about when I had a dream. Yeah. Sometimes we find ourselves in bad places. Just remember to breathe and reflect. Stop and assess. The stop and assess is from a dream. Stop and assess because danger awaits those who move in haste. I don't remember what that dream was, but I remember that was kind of the lesson from the dream. It was that like I got quick. I started moving too fast and something bad happened in the dream, but like I woke up and I was able to analyze the dream and I said, hey, if I had just stopped and assessed, oh man, yeah, that was a bad dream. Like a freaking, like I was going into a basement and there was like it's like Shelob, like like my brain reconstructing Shelob's lair from the Lord of the Rings movie. But words create dreams, nightmares, goals, and fears, hopes and joys, and revelations. So keep a dream journal. I do. I need to look into getting it back out and writing in it some more. It's one of those tough things, especially when you have a schedule that changes so frequently. It's your brain making sense of things in a good way. So it's good to have one of them. Let's see. Yep, good one. It all started with a simple elastic navy blue bracelet. Work hard, no regrets, baby. Work hard, no regrets. To others. Patience and kindness to others. To self-goodness and gratefulness. That seems nice. Some good other stuff. This is a 2-pager. Kaizen. Japanese for continuous improvement. Kaizen. Yeah, here's some stuff about the art of war. That's hilarious that I mentioned it, but I didn't even look at the second page. Here's a quote from a much younger and unforgiving version of me. You can go through life making excuses to be happy if you want. You'll just have to make another excuse when your dreams don't come true. Damn, I was savage. But it is true, though. I mean, it is true. Just keep making excuses for this and that. Like, I've been making excuses to not go to the gym lately. Whatever. It's my fault. It's my fault that I'm putting on the poundage because I'm not exercising and I'm not doing intermittent fasting and I'm, losing that discipline. But my dream is not, I don't have the dream of having that figure, of looking that way. I don't care to be that person anymore. I don't have that vanity that I had, and I wanted to have that figure, and that's not an important thing to me. That's not a dream for me. It'd be nice, but again, it's not the main focus. So let's see. Remember to listen to people. Remember your why. Remember to ask questions. Remember, sometimes it's just a few extra questions away. Compliment, not comment. So that's a good one. Ever learned from some kind of sales somewhere. Surround yourself with positivity. That's a very good one, actually. We are the books we read and the people we surround ourselves with. We are the books we read and the friends that we keep. I love this one. The simple thought is the foundation of a complex mind. Pew. Keep it civil, stupid. But that's true. That's true. Create your own reality. You can. Mind is a powerful thing. It's not necessarily that happiness is a choice, but it is all the other stuff I talked about. And if you choose to see what's wrong and not what's right, you're not gonna, that's gonna be the reality that you create. So create your own reality by choosing to see what's right, not what's wrong. Create your own reality by being specific in what you ask for. Create your own reality by always trying to be positive, by always being disciplined, by reading good books, by taking time for yourself. Learn to notice the patterns. Create your own reality by seeing the patterns, by seeing those positive feedback loops, by creating the positive feedback loops. If something's going good, keep doing it. Keep doing that thing. Keep spinning it and keep that ball in motion so that it goes up. Don't let it fall and spiral out of control, because that's how negative feedback loops are created. That's when things get out of whack and out of hand and you lose control of your life, and next thing you know, you're covered in Cheeto dust playing World of Warcraft in your parents' basement, and you haven't been laid in 7 years. Don't let it happen. Create positive feedback loops. I love this one TED Talk I listened to recently about just that very thing. This guy's brother took him to a Zig Ziglar thing, and Zig Ziglar up there on stage and talking, and dude was like 400 something pounds, and man, he just was inspired, and he bought all of Zig Ziglar stuff, and he listened to them all, and he surrounded himself with positivity, and next thing you know, he's lost a couple 100 pounds, he lost like 150 or so, and like he's down to like 300 something or 200 or high 200s, and he goes to the tailor, and he buys really expensive suits and has them tailored to the size that he wants to be. And the tailor says, "Who are you buying these suits for?" And he says, "Well, I'm buying them for me." And the tailor laughs. And it's like, motherfucker. Like, that's what you gotta do to motivate yourself. And that's, it's funny because that's one of the things I did to motivate myself. I bought smaller clothes that I wanted to wear, and I look good in them when I lost that weight. But I mean, I gotta be honest with y'all. I'm rocking that like dad bod look. It's working a little bit. I like it. I'm still strong. I still got the muscles, the muscularios. They're looking good. The exercise is good. I'm going home right now to meet with my therapist in a Zoom meeting, and then exercise, lower body, doing squats on the Bosu ball. Gotta surround yourself with positivity. Just like, it's so dumb. Like, cause like, why do I have to say this? But I'm going to. The same thing with like what you put into your body. If you choose, and like, I mean, I ate fries yesterday. We went out and got like Greek food for lunch, and like I had fries. But like, more often than not at night, we're gonna have chicken tenders on a bed of greens. Or even a burger on a bed of greens, right? Like a burger on salad is way better than a burger on 2 pieces of bread with fries. It's more filling, it's more healthy, and it's better for you. Anyway, this one's fun. Here's another. Failure and obstacle are interchangeable words. I don't remember where I learned that one, but it's true. Failure is not the end-all be-all. Fail forward. I mean, goodness. I wouldn't have the LLC if I didn't fail at my internship. The internship said that I would never succeed in that career. That it wasn't the career for me. That I'm a company man. That's true in many ways that I am. I do have allegiance to the company that I work for, and it just so happens that now the company I work for is my own, not as an apprentice electrician, but my LLC. And so but fail forward. Failure is just an obstacle. It's just like, just because I wasn't good at that doesn't mean like I should stop pursuing it. Just like failing to be good at programming C++ wasn't a failure. It was just an obstacle to like, what should I get my degree in? What should I do with my life? Because this isn't how I want. This is not working. This isn't good. This isn't a good fit. It's not a failure. It's just an obstacle. It's an obstacle to find what is a good fit. So reframe your mind. I think I've been talking about that in other videos. Like, if you reframe the way that you see things, you're gonna create your own reality. Again, like, create your own reality. It seems so fucking stupid until you actually start doing it and putting it into practice. I don't know what better way to say it, because until you actually, I don't want to say like follow the recipe, because it's really not a recipe. You have to fail forward, right? You have to find your own way. You have to do it in your own way. The only way to really do that, though, is to kind of follow other people. Monkey see, monkey do. That's why going to the gym is a good thing. Because if you go to the gym, you're going to be pumped and hyped up to like, oh, you're going to see like some jacked mother effer doing some workout, and you'll be like, I want to be able to do that. But you're not going to like go over and do it when he's doing it. And I mean, I don't know. Unless it's like good mornings. And there's some girl doing good mornings, and you're like, oh my gosh dang it, like I need to do my good mornings now too. And then you're just like, you suck it up, soldier, because you're not embarrassed to do your good mornings because you want a nice butt. So you go and do them. Anyway, going to the gym is good. It surrounds yourself with positivity, and it helps you create your own reality. If your own reality is wanting to get in shape, lose weight, build muscle, etc. Yeah, you must be reflective and truly decide on what you want to become. Then you have to truly commit and compromise. You know, there is a good book called Never Split the Difference, but sometimes you do have to compromise. You have to compromise certain facets about your own personality or certain things about yourself. I mean, a good example of that compromise is, like, for me, when I realized I wasn't as smart. It was like, it's a logical fallacy. Everyone thinks they're smarter than they actually are. And once you kind of accept that, you're going to be way better off. So you have to compromise. Like, you don't have to be the best at everything. Focus and compromise on being better at the things you're already good at. You know, that's like the Tom Rath Strengths Finder side of things. Anyway, truly commit and compromise. Learn to notice the patterns. Make a plan, write it down, and get it done. Here, legacy video. It's right there. I said I was going to do it a couple years ago, and it's a couple years late, but here it is. You know, maybe I'll watch this, and it'll give me some good ideas for the book. So I do want to write the book one day. All right. Yeah, then the quote from a much younger and unforgiving version of me. Just make another excuse. Don't do it. The sooner you read The Art of War, the better. Go and enjoy something new. That's something I learned during my travels abroad. Like, learning new things, experiencing new things, it expands your brain. Create your own reality. Create positive feedback loops. Go and enjoy something new. Get out of your comfort zone. This is one. Accept the struggle it takes to climb. There is struggle. There is always struggle. It's just the way of the world. It's just how it happens. You struggle, you struggle, you struggle, you struggle. The sooner you accept that it's going to be hard, the better off you're going to be. That's one of those, like, reframing your mind. See what's right, not what's wrong. If you see it as right that you're struggling, and you know that means you're doing something right, then you're gonna be in a positive mindset, because you're gonna be like, this is good, I'm struggling because I'm working towards my goal. I'm working towards my vision. I'm working towards my dream. I'm struggling. I'm failing forward, right? So if you accept the struggle that it takes to climb to the top, and you compromise that it's going to be hard, right? And you truly commit, and you keep up the enthusiasm, you're going to be good. You're going to be good to go. You're going to be good to go. Envision your success. That was the other thing. I talked about that in one of those videos. Remember, go check it out. It's where I put this picture that I tore out of a bodybuilding magazine right next to my toilet. So every time I took a piss, I could see this dude walking on a treadmill with kind of like the body type that I thought would be the body type that I would have if I kept working out like I was doing. And he was, he had two hot chicks on either side of him. I was like, yes, like that is like envisioning your success. Like, you can't just keep it up here. I visited Miami one time for a bachelor party or something, and drove through Coral Gables because it was like part of the vision plan. It's like I needed to drive through like the really nice part of Miami to like see what was going on. So good times that was. Yeah, wealth is not defined by numbers on a bank statement. That's another good topic for one day. And you know, lastly and not leastly, exercise, eat well, and enjoy the ride because it doesn't stop. And that's all for now. It's been almost an hour. I'm going to talk about wealth not being defined by numbers on a bank statement, Kaizen, Japanese for continuous improvement, and then exercising and eating well continuously. But wealth is not defined by numbers on a bank statement. That's going to be the topic for next video. Anyway, peace for now. Happy Monday. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This was one of my more favorite videos. Yeah, we're going to end on that. Bye.